Oh, hello. How are you, JR? Good to see you. We're going to be doing some work on that truck. Oh, no, that truck over there. Kind of walk you through a couple of things that I've done so far. Let me know if the audio's good. I think it is, but yeah, I'm good. Had a busy day at work, but happy to be home. So gonna be doing some stuff over here. So let's head over to Blender. So we got to work on a couple of things today. One of them is to try to figure out why when I choose one of my variants, it does not show the lights and stuff. Because I can see already that AB cab flares are there. So that should be visible when I'm looking at the 357. Because if I do this, that's there. Cab flares is there. Horns there? Horns are there. Okay, so this has got to be a def problem then. So let's go over here, see if we can sort that out here before we go too far. Oops, gonna bring this down here. That's it. That's the reason. Because I have a suitable for on there, which is fine. Just have to edit it with the correct one in there as well. In that case, this is the 357 STD, which sounds terrible, really. But so we should get that showing up. So let's make sure that that is also, because I think this one, yeah, so that's for the big one, the big roof. Don't need to do that just yet. So we're not dealing with the big roof just yet. So I need to go to horns, because this needs to be changed as well. Like that. I'm doing something pretty tricky on this one, which I did not do on the old version. The old version of this, does this have that funny, or is this the, no, that's the shadow. No problem. Okay. So this one's I'm doing a little bit different. The hoods are all included in the cabin, which makes it a little bigger. Let's check what the size of this thing is, just for curiosity's sake. That's only 6,700 kilobits right now, so that's not too bad. 6,800 kilobits, so kilobytes. not bits, bytes. We gotta go here. So since you can't really do with the body like this with truck paint, you can't really do a look with truck paint. However, you can do looks with truck. You can do looks with truck paint if you make it also truck paint. So I've done this in a very kind of sneaky way, so that if I have, you'll notice this here, the AO is coming around with this fender. But if I switch to the default look, that's the 377. So if I go to here, and you'll look at the cabin, you'll notice that for the standard sleeper, it's variant B with a default look. But if I go to the 357, it's the variable or variant B 357 with the 357 look. So it adds different parts and it changes the look. So I'll be able to do that for all the hoods in order to get the AO correct. So that's pretty cool. I did something a little different with this one. Again, always expanding my knowledge of what's happening. So always good to challenge yourself. I've got the triaxle lift frame in game. Don't have any mud flaps for it yet. I mean, mud guards yet. So I have to do that still. I think my mic's a little bit loud, so I'm gonna turn that down just a bit. There we go. And I'm gonna sort out the beacons. The beacons are they're becoming a little painful. I think there's different tanks for this one as well too, so we'll have to look into that. So I think we'll do this is this one. Yeah. So we got some of these guys to do. But I really wanted to do the filters, I think, was the one I was going to do next. So let's get to the filters on cabin. Yep. Cursor to selected. Oh, should I turn on my screencast keys? Maybe that'll be helpful. Do they work? Yay, they do. Look at that. Perfect. Okay. So we're gonna go back up here to 357 stuff. Add a root object. We'll call these 357 filters. Cool, Drew. Thanks for showing up. Appreciate it. All right, so it looks like we got filters here. I don't really need the lights, but I'm going to use them as a reference point for the nodes. So this, we're going to move to 357 stuff and then put this underneath the filters. Beautiful. So we got a couple of different things here. So let's rubber. What's up, Zach? So I'm going to hide those, but I'm going to need them. So we're going to join those together. I don't really want to do that. Let's get rid of this first. What does this say? Did I already do these? No. Okay, apply the mirror, and then we'll apply the mirror on this as well. Okay, now we can do these. All right. So we're going to go into the UV editing screen. Bake looks good. Let's see what we get out of this guy. The doctor. Hello. How are you? Doing some work on the 357 parts for version 2. Forgot to change the padding. Boo. It's okay. Yeah, we're good. All right. So let's do a save image. Varga. We're going to open this. Don't apply a layer. Okay, and then save that. All right, so let's see what this looks like. We'll go back here. Yeah, I didn't want to do that. Did not want to do that. Let's do... Where's my music at? Fixed it. All right, so truck paint. And map. Whoops. Cool. I think we did negative 0.25 on that, if I recall. And these are both 1, yes, okay. This is going to be also 357 filter paint. Like so. And we're going to do another version of it with chrome and, you know, so like this one will be chrome and this will be paint, and then this will be chrome and this will be paint. I'm just going to do 800,000 nodes. Oh, not 800,000. Let's see. 8, 16, 32 nodes. That's not terrible. All right, so let's create our second option for this. So we'll do duplicate, and we'll hide one of them. Yes, please. The old likes help. I'm doing this the complicated way. I could have done this. You know what? I still can do this the non-complicated way. What I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this one back on, turn the old one back off. Then we're going to do Chrome something. There we go. And then we're going to duplicate it. There we go. And then we can go over to this one and make this Chrome something. Like that. So now we got 2 versions. I just have to do the lights. Let's see if I can select this ring. Yes, I can. Not quite on there. So let's do... Can I do this? Where the heck did that go? It's way out there. I don't want it on that. That's close enough. Close enough. Okay. So now we're going to add some nodes. Add mesh. No. Model locator. Slot 1. And we'll duplicate. Grab in the Z direction. We're getting there. Slow going with these. Okay. So we get those nodes. We just got to rename them all. That one's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. All right, cool. So now, this is what I like to do. Everybody does this a little differently. This is what I do. I copy all these, duplicate them, then go to them and change them to a positive direction X, which puts them exactly in the same spot on the other side. Hopefully that makes sense to you. You can do them all over manually if you want to, but this is just a little bit quicker. And then I'll take these over here. I still have... This one is named improperly. I named them all improperly because I just typed 1 again. Oh, no, I didn't. I was just moving them. But... Okay, so we have 8 over there. Let's do 9 here. $10. $11. 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. Okay, so now over here, I go back to these and I duplicate them again, and then I grab them in the Y direction and customize your own cargo. What specifically? Like adding a cargo to a flatbed? So now that we've got these over here, we have to rotate the Z direction 180 degrees so they face backwards. Okay, so existing flatbed, add a cargo to it so it works in game in wherever you want to pick it up from or whatever, right? And what do you mean a new video? Did you find one that I've done before on it, or you mean like just a new video for the channel? Okay. All right, so we're going to do the same thing on the other side. Well, actually, you know what? I'm going to rename these before I forget what I'm doing. All right, so we left off at 16. We're going to go to 17 on the top. So this one's going to be 17. 18. Or 180, you know, whatever. Is there a specific part you're having trouble with? Are you trying to do it yourself, or you just want one so you can do it yourself? Okay, those are done. Now we need to move over from 9 to 16. Duplicate, grab Y, grab X, again, rename these, starting with 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31. 32. All right, so we got all our slots ready. We just have to go in and change them to face the correct way. Okay. Now, the other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to duplicate this again and make a shadow model. So this means I'm going to remove all of these. And make this a new shadow. Shadow only. Now there's a trick to these. I haven't mastered it yet, but I'm okay. So let's shrink X. Shrink Y. Shrink Z. Now that you have this model, you go in here and you modify and mirror it. So now you get the shadow over there as well. The reason why I shrink it so much and let it do things like this is because when you're looking underneath this, it's going to be much darker than, you know, you're not going to notice the colorization of this. So it's better to have the shadow on the underside than coming through the front or doing whatever. So I'm trying to put the shadow in places that it would normally be without being too detrimental to the paint itself, because you know how sometimes when you scroll too far out it gets all kind of fuzzy there. So yeah, you need to shrink those up. The best way to do it is one side at a time, and everything that you do, all the shadows that you do are all a little different than each other, so you kind of have to mix and match what you do. Because if you do the hood, say, and you shrink it this way in the Y direction, then there's going to be a gap right here, right? Because now it's not going to meet here. So you really got to play with it a little bit. You know, you got to move it down and shrink it in the X direction and maybe the Z, and then get it to fit in there. So, but it's so it still touches the other parts and you don't have seams all over the place. You're trying to learn how to mod, and I would like to learn that first if I can. Okay. You're picking nearly one of the hardest things to learn first. So I'd probably push you towards something a little bit easier, but I can certainly do that for you. It's just you have to know everything there is to know about the game and not just one thing. So like I said, happy to indulge you, but it's going to be a little bit more than a quick 1-2 punch kind of thing. All right, so we've got all our slots, we've got our shadow and such, so let's go ahead and get our parts and our variants done. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do we're going to call this filter, and then brackets, I guess. No, straps. So these are, so our default, I think, is going to be colorized on the top, and then the filter, the straps are going to be chrome. So let's do filter, chrome, and straps, chrome. So we'll do, I'm not going to be able to get out of the way. Okay, that's fine. I think this, yeah, disappears everything. But I can move this up. Maybe that'll help. There we go. Okay. So our default is going to be default part, which is going to be the shadow, and then the paint filter and the chrome straps. Then we're going to have the chrome filter, which is going to be chrome filter and color straps and default part. So those are the two options. So then all you have to do is take this and then P it, separate by material, and then you're going to get a bunch of stuff. So these are the chrome ones. So we'll take those chrome ones and we'll put them in straps chrome. Done. Okay. This is the shadow, which is good. That's always going to be assigned to default because we always want the shadow to be visible. This is the filter colorized. This one is the intake inlet. That should be shade smooth. Why is it not shaded smooth? Oh, it is. It's kind of funky. Oh, it's ribbed, I see. Never mind. It is meant to be like that. Okay, so that's also going to be a default part. So that's always going to be black. And then there's the chrome with the paint. So we haven't separated this. Again, we're going to do P by material. So now you're going to get your colorized straps and your chrome filter. And we can disappear these lights. So now, if I go here and then click on, I want to use the default filters. That's going to be the colorized filter with the chrome straps. If I want to see the chrome filter, that's going to be chrome with the colorized straps. And you could go even further and make the light brackets their own parts in here. So you could have chrome filter with painted bracket and paint this, or you could have chrome with chrome and paint, or you could have chrome with chrome and chrome. So, I mean, you could do a million different variants of this if you want to. We're going to stick with these two for right now. So now we need to make sure it exports to the right spot. I don't believe I have filters in here yet. I do not. Now, one thing I want to check is if the filter node is filters or filter. Filters. Okay. Cool. So I can bring this back up. Add filters. Open it. Cool. So now when I take this, move it back over there. Aha, so we have the unnormalized vertex color problem. Not a problem, we can fix that. So 0, 2. So let's expand this and see what they're talking about. This one. This is the shadow one, so it doesn't really matter. But to fix that, you remove the vertex colors and then add them. Texture type base on filter paint. Ah, you know why? Because I haven't added additional UV layers. So this is what we're going to do with this. We are going to do two things. First one, we're going to change to this color guy, and then we're going to go here. And as you can see, it's only one UV map. So I'm going to create the second one just to get this on the go. I'm still going to have to map them to the paint jobs and stuff, so we'll do that later. Now we need to go back here, turn off the default, turn on the chrome, grab this, make that. Those will show up automatically because it's the same. Ooh, that was quite a cough. It's the same material. So it will automatically fill in once you've created those UV maps. So 3 also does not have a proper vertex color. So again, delete those, add them back. And 05, again, delete those, add them back. Okay. Now we're ready to rock and roll again. No errors. So now if we go into our folder of our middle files, should be able to go to accessory, filters, and there's our filters. All right. So those are done. So what we can do here is what I like to do is I like to get rid of the rendering. So in case I have to bake something, nothing doesn't get all conflicted in any way. Hide those up. Let's do our exhaust here. I think this is on the frame. Yes, it is. Cursor to selected. Same story here. Add another root object. What do you call these? Curve. Not gourd, guard. All right, so I'll do Chrome 357 plus. Add the UV. So that's all set. Just got to work on the black, the inside, which is here. So what I'm going to do in this case, because I don't want a shadow of this with all this extra stuff, is going to be extraordinarily detrimental to your computer. It's a lot of extra holes it has to create and stuff like that. So what I'm going to end up doing is separating by material. So now we'll have the outside like this. This I'm going to create a shadow on, which it already has actually, which is cool. And then this one, I'm going to take, where's the other part of this? Oh, it does go up in there. Okay. So then I'm going to take this part, interesting because it goes through the inside, but I don't know where the, so let's see if we change this to here. There we go. So if you got that, what we can do now is these are mirrored. So I can mirror them. So they're all set. Now I'm going to separate this so I can make a shadow with these and disinclude all of this extra stuff like I was talking about. So duplicate, shadow, and then shrink it every way from Sunday. Just a touch, just so you get the shadow, right? We're not, doesn't have to be perfect. Again, under the truck, nobody's going to notice that. So these are a little different because you're going to see a shadow. If it's on the back of this, it's going to look all funny. So these ones we need to pay a bit more attention to. So we're going to duplicate those. And it's already one-sided. Whoops. So all we have to do is shrink this. We'll do Y first. And then we'll do X. And then we'll do Z. And then we will change this to shadow. So what you're going to get is a shadow on the bottom of it, but it's not going to be visible. You're not going to get that funny looking, those lines in it like I was saying when you zoom out. So after all of this, I haven't even moved anything over there, so this is not going to be good. Here we go. Let's do this and this and this. Well, that's not helpful, is it? Okay. Okay, let's move those to 357 stuff. And then put them inside here. Let's see if we got everything. No. Didn't get this guy. Hello, instinctive. Okay. So now we got that sorted out. We've got all of our parts, shadows, chrome, etc. So we just have to put this in the right department, which is going to be here. And then let's see what kind of errors we get. None. Look at that. We got everything right. Perfect. I like those ones. We've got some stock style tanks here. So we got aluminum cap, aluminum straps, chrome edges here. And some paint matched stuff, but we're not going to paint that. We're going to paint those frame. Same as the frame. I would like to get side flares done. Should be pretty easy. The trick with these is that the 377 doesn't cut the same as this one, so probably just going to move this into this one and make a separate that's a bit higher though. That's my only issue, is I'll have to move the nodes a bit because those are a bit smaller, actually. As you can see, the 357 is only that tall, and 377 is that tall. So, I mean, I could take the chrome one of the 377 and kind of extend it. So, we'll see. I'm not going to tackle that right now. Not gonna do it. So let's do these fenders, because I need fenders for my triple axle. Very important. So first we got to find the node, which is Mudguard BC01. Cursor to selected. You guys are cheeky buggers, I tell you what. I So we have our node that we're going to be working with because this is part of chassis 8. Excuse me. I even got more sleep than usual last night. Yikes. So we're going to go here and then add a root. We'll call these heavy lift. So funny looking at all of these things that are on here and all the things that I did do on the original, but some of the lights like these with the little hoods on the top of them, I never did. So I have the ones without the hood, but not the ones with. Lots to do still. Okay. This we're gonna move to 357 stuff. We're gonna move this to 357 stuff. Okay. Oof, gonna be quitting time soon here. All right, hide. Okay, so those do have holes in them. Got it. Okay. That's easy though. No problem. Also these need to go. Hey Mark, how are you? Hope you're having a relaxing evening. Actually, I don't know that you're even from a place where it's the evening, so I hope it's a good whatever it is right now. So let's change this to black.